Florence Mpaayei. Florence is the Executive Director for Mpaayei Africa. Florence has expertise within East and Central Africa region and has been involved in conflict-affected women in communities in different countries around the Eastern and Central Africa region. She holds a degree in business communication and business administration, and is trained in conflict transformation on peace building in Africa and the USA. Florence will come to give us the opening remarks. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Carol. Hamjambo. Indeed, it is a privilege for me to be here this morning. And on behalf of the Nairobi Peace Initiative Africa, I take this opportunity to welcome you very warmly to this forum, which I believe is going to be a conversation between ourselves as civil society and the media in light of the forthcoming general elections. Having said that, on behalf of us, I want to welcome Harold Miller, who's our trustee. I want to welcome our special guests from the Global Secretariat of GPAC, Peter, Vasu from South Africa, Emmanuel from Ghana, Irongo, a good colleague from Kenya, Celine from Kenya, seasoned peace builder, and Levi Obonyo. And let me also take the opportunity to say thank you for those that are covering this occasion. We should have also asked you to introduce yourselves because you're part and parcel of the equation for peaceful elections in Kenya. So as you take your photographs, as you cover this event, do know that you're very, very welcome and you're playing a very critical role. The reason we are gathered here is to have a conversation amongst ourselves. In 2008, we went through a very difficult and challenging time as Kenyans. From the perspective of a peace builder, we thought we had prepared and engaged in activities that would deliver a peaceful elections. However, we were not ready to deal with the outcome of the results if they were disputed. And we saw ourselves having a crisis, and we knew that both the media and civil society and all Kenyans had a role to play in the outcome of what we saw in 2007, 2008. Since then, I think we learned our lessons, and we've worked tirelessly to try and ensure that we don't have a repeat of what we had in 2007, 2008. So that's the reason why we are here, to add again to our conversation of trying to see how do we make these elections that are forthcoming peaceful, fair, and elections that we will be able to look back and say, yes, Kenya has done the continent proud. Kenya has moved on and has learned how to deal with its challenges in a constructive way. We have 4 objectives that we want to achieve in this forum. One will be to share experiences. We will hear from the media how prepared we are. We will also hear from civil society in working for peace, again, how we are preparing for these elections. But we will also hear experiences from Ghana and South Africa, specifically identified because we know Ghana just went through an election and they had challenges with the outcome, especially at the presidential level. South Africa, as we know, is a country that had gone through the apartheid system for many years, and is a continent that's also a country that is grappling with how a country transitions from a very volatile and difficult circumstances of where violence is rampant to find its way to how they can be peaceful. So we felt that as Kenyans, we will seek this opportunity to learn from the Ghana experience and from the South Africa experience as we continue to broaden our scope of how we deal with the forthcoming elections and how we deal as communities, diverse communities, having tensions, affiliated to different political parties, which is our reality. How do we take that and be able to have constructive dialogue and conversations that then help us move on to a better Kenya? So I see the message for us as peace builders. We're asking ourselves a question. How do we have meaningful engagements that will call for appreciation and an understanding of the complex nature of modern electoral processes? And you will agree with me. we're having historic elections in Kenya. They are not going to be easy like what we've had in the past was complex. But this one is even much more complex given that we're dealing with a new constitution, we're dealing with a devolved government system, and therefore it comes in with its own dynamics that we will have to learn how to handle. So how do we appreciate the complexity? And at the same time, while appreciating that complexity, constructively engage with the process. I think a second step for us requires that peace workers, that we make commitments to overcome injustices and marginalization, to rekindle hope for our constituencies, to let people know that Kenya is in transition and what we are going through is not peculiar. In our own little communities, tensions are present, conflicts are present, but it's a question of how do you handle this complexity in a manner that is able to come up with a fair solution at the end of the day. So we are called as peace builders to both inspire hope, but at the same time be creative and imaginative in the way we handle the complexity of what faces us ahead. So it's my hope that we will have very candid discussions amongst ourselves in the hope of finding solutions, even as we move towards the general elections on 4th March and beyond. So once again, let me say thank you very much for honoring us with your presence, and for our colleagues from outside of the country and the panelists, we are grateful that you could come and be with us to share your insights and help us as a community of civil society and peace workers to see how we can continue to grapple with the challenges that we have ahead of us. And I'm hopeful that if we each do our part, we will have peaceful, free, and fair elections. Thank you very much.
Florence, I guess we are all aware of the room that you're in, Amani room, and the significance of this room. It's a very symbolic room. Several discussions took place in this room after our 2007 elections, 2008 period. And our being here is deliberate. We trust that what we'll be discussing here, or what will come out of here, indeed will go towards strengthening the peace in this country.